To my live stream. This is Daisy X Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And this is where I get into drag to film a video later today. And we have Lynette. Thank you for coming, Lynette. Lori is here. Oh no, you have the plague that rhymes with Movid. Yeah, I had that too a couple years ago. Not very fun. I had the vaccine, so it only lasted like a couple weeks, and I didn't have, thank God, like the long COVID or whatever that stuff's called. But I hope you are cleared up in no time. And we have Frank is here. Hey, Frank, thank you for coming. Yes, I hope you recover quickly and not the bubonic kind. I can't speak as usual. Oh, your first time. You had it last Christmas. Yeah, I think I had it. When did I have it? I think 2 years ago. Anyway, how is everyone's reading going? Um, I did read, and I had an early start on it. Oh my God, I just forgot the title. The what I picked for Shove It or Shove It, sequel to Station Eternity. Um, Let me look it up. I feel stupid now. But anyway, it was really, really good. I know they're calling the series like Midsummer Murders, like a cozy mystery series or whatever. What am I doing? And I hope the author Muir Lafferty keeps it up because I think it'd be a really cool series. And I think that they're standalones, but I would still read them in order if you're interested. But they are self-contained stories or mysteries. But at least the second book built off the first book. Um, Chaos Terminal. How did I forget that? Yeah, I do like that sort of retro cover. So anyway, recommend give I don't know. I'll give it 5 stars. It's probably like a little over 4 stars, but I always round up at least on Goodreads. And I liked it better than the first one. I think Station Eternity was a debut. So I think the author is improving with writing, and if you like mysteries and science fiction and space station, and it's kind of light, and there's some humor in it, so I recommend. And right now, I am currently reading a middle grade novel with the title "The Many Assassinations of Samir, the Seller of Dreams," which is a crazy long title. But so far, I'm liking it. The prose is very elevated. I'm not sure if I was the target audience, if I would like that book, because not so much of the elevated prose, but it doesn't really have a plot. It doesn't have a strong plot. Um, but it's interesting to read, at least as an adult. Lynette finished one book, The Christmas Jigsaw Murders. Oh, we always like a macabre Christmas movie or holiday movie. Didn't read much because I was busy looking at videos about the current raging YouTube drama. What's that drama? Frank, what'd you read? John Crow's here. Yeah, I don't know about this drama. You're reading a story of Junk. The author is a woman who used to be a heroin addict. Okay, the book's name is Junk, and the author is a woman who's a heroin addict and is now a successful journalist and writer. Well, that's inspiring. Okay, I feel like I should know YouTube drama, but I don't know it. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so let me. What did I do last time? I did orange, or did I do orange last? Let me. I'm looking up on my Instagram. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. Um, okay, last. Oh, I did do orange last week. So I know I do purple a lot. Have I just done blue recently? I tried lavender. I have to stay away from pinks because of green screen. Um, we'll do a two-tone pink and purple. Okay. That's called The Story of Junk. Okay. It's about some large YouTubers plagiarizing the work of small YouTubers. I have a feeling that's not you. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. You know, at least if they're inspired by a smaller booktuber, give them a shout out because they need the views. But plagiarizing is like taking it word for word, which is not cool at all. Yeah. That's plagiarizing is different than like taking the ideas, which I know happens. Um, and there's nothing illegal about that, but it's just, I think, polite. It makes you look cooler if you give that uh, YouTuber a shout out. Well, that's just me. Okay, so I guess we're going to go pink and then purple. Start with this magenta. I have not seen the latest Doctor Who. But I did see last week's. And I think he said it, Lynette, that it was a better episode. Than the first one, which I have to agree with. I mean, I did, and I did like the first episode, even though I thought the main plot was kind of boring. Okay, I'm going to take the pink, I think, all the way. But last week's episode was more like your classic Doctor Who episode, which really made me um, kind of sad that Donna Noble and David Tennant aren't going to be the regular doctors. I think there's just like one or two more episodes with them. Okay, I'm going to angle this up. I know this is blue, but I'm doing that thing where you put the purple over the blue and it makes a deeper purple. But anyway, I'm excited to see the third episode. Started reading The Crystal Empire by L. Nell Smith. I have not heard of that author or that book. Is it a fantasy? Sounds like a fantasy. Whatever, released an almost 4-hour-long video about exposing some big names. It has 8 million views. Wow. I should check that out. Although that's a long video to watch. A friend just sent me a link to that. And Harry H. Bomberguy, has pledged that any money he makes from the video will go to the small YouTubers. That's very cool. Although it's not much money, believe me. We will be watching the new Doctor tonight. Me too, John. Me too. Oh, and by the way, my Doctor Who video did get demonetized. I said it was okay, and then a week later it said no, and I was like, just let it go. It would be like I think I just got like 300 views or something. So I don't know, maybe I'd make $2 on it. And I think Lynette gave me a donation, so that covers it. Here, high schoolers just take stuff off the net now and hand it into teachers for videos. Well, I know that it's a big problem with AI. And I know if I was a student, I'd be very tempted to have AI help me do reports and whatnot. Because that would include doing the research, right? But of course, back in those days, there's also Cliff Notes. I mean, there's always some way to cheat in high school. But yeah, it's very problematic. Third Doctor Who episode was excellent as well. Can't wait to see it. Good Doctor is now being played by David Tennant, who was the 10th Doctor, but he's just reprising the role as the 14th Doctor for 3 to 4 episodes, and then it's going to go to the first person of color Doctor, Ncuti. Lynette just said it here. Ncuti Gatwa, who is also in Sex Education playing a flamboyant gay boy. But I don't think the Doctor's going to be flamboyant. I hope he is, though, but I doubt it. Dairy Girls, I tried to watch the first season, and I thought it was amusing, but I didn't get into it. Like, I know a lot of people like are big fans, but I appreciate the humor. Plagiarize, let no man's work evade your eyes. Did you just plagiarize that, John? Just kidding. Who are the big names, Lynette? We want to know. It's James Somerton. See, I don't know. I don't know if I even know big booktuber names. I mean, back in the day, it was Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star. Watching the third episode of the 60 anniversary specials for the second time. Okay, I haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers. Rue talking to me. Is that RuPaul talking to you? But I've seen the first 2 episodes. I gave the first episode maybe a C, and the second episode I think was an A. So I'm excited. I said Rue talking to me, thinking of RuPaul, but it's Are You talking to me? Takes me a while. So it's African. I bet it is. Gay creators stole work from others in the LGBT. Oh, that sucks. Urgh. Yeah, I don't know Somerton. Or things back in 2006. Somerton lost 70,000 and he closed his channel. Wow, wow, wow. It's about $1 per thousand if you want to do the math. It's on average. I don't feel like doing the math, but someone can do the math and let us know how much 8 million is. Sci-fi alternate Earth dominated by a Muslim Hebrew alliance in Europe and Western Asia and Sino-Mexican Empire. Well, that's a lot. Yeah, yeah. Alternate Earths are kind of interesting. I'm sure if you're into that, you know Harry Turtledove. And then numbers will increase. AI is already making it tough for some kinds of writers. He is Rwandan, Scots actor. Well, I mean, he might be from Scotland and is Rwandan ancestry, or who knows? Mixed ethnicity and nationality. Commit genocide or something. That is $8,000. I guess I just could have moved the zero. Yeah, thank you, Lynette. Okay, so I need to do some makeup. So I'm going to go over the blue with the purple, and hopefully it will create a deep purple look. Yeah, I got this tip from the drag queen Cardi Black of doing the purple over the blue, and so far I like it. And I'll go over that magenta with um, a bright pink, and let's see what happens. Anybody read this Quantum Thief novel? What's the title? I haven't read it. No, I haven't either, Lynette. No one's heard about it. It's published in 2012, but just heard about it from a sci-fi booktuber in LA. I've heard the title, but not compelled to read it. What's the title? Did I miss it? Oh, is that the one you're talking about? The no, that can't be alternate Earth. Okay. No, it's called the Quantum Thief. Thank you. Okay, that worked well. So today I'm actually going to. Last week I didn't really film a video. I got into drag. I had a headache, so I did a reaction to the. Or I voted. I filmed myself voting in the second round of the Goodreads, but I'm not going to make that into its own video. Today I'll look at the finals for Goodreads and then maybe combine the two. But I also finally finished putting together a script for the 1960s sci-fi movies, little known sci-fi movies from the 1960s. So assuming I get the Goodreads done, that's what I'll probably release this week. That looks pink. That's supposed to be another shade of purple. Okay, I need. Just looking for something light to blend this with. Okay, I think I like that, except I want to. Okay, I think that's what we're going to do for the eyes. I mean the shadow. It's already a trilogy, The Quantum Thief. There are 2 sci-fi titles of that name. Which author are you talking about? He's Hanu something. Finnish. Oh, that's interesting. Thank you, John. Hanu Raja. And is that a Finnish name? It looks more Eastern. Just caught The Day the Earth Caught Fire. I don't think I know that one. The other book was written by S.R. Franey. Yeah. When I started reading that, I was thinking, oh, The Day the Earth Stood Still. I know that one. Just finished Young and Damned and Fair bio of Catherine Howard. Lori, you seem so smart. One of my challenges this year is to read 2 books with the same title. Oh, and you didn't know about The Quantum Thief. That's actually a pretty good challenge. It'd be a good video, but I don't know if I have it within me. Unless they're 2 good books. Yeah, Henry VIII's Fifth Wife. Okay. I was going to try an experiment today. Let me put on some liner. Is that liner? Okay, I don't usually do my lids anymore. Cover black over my whole lids, but I thought I would try it with a different color. And I was thinking of purple, but I think that would just all blend together. So let me try. I have this, which sort of matches this. So, okay, I need a real tiny brush. Just started watching a booktuber likes the Tudor stuff. Brit movie from 1961. Oh, that's the Earth Caught on Fire. Not familiar with Estelle. Yeah, Estelle is the name of the booktuber. Just heard of her from Katie Guy, who in Wales, who is my main man. The channel I watch about the Tudor is an author. I think her name is Claire. Michael Caine has a bit role as a Metropolitan Police officer directing traffic. Oh, that's funny. I wonder if that's one of his first roles. 1961. When did he make it big? I want to say, was he in Georgie Girl? By the way, if you haven't seen Georgie Girl, that's a 60s movie, really good. Also started watching The Disco King. Oh, I haven't heard that one. Claire Ridgway. Yeah, I always liked Michael Caine. Okay, this could be a big mess, in which case I'll just cover it with black. I'm going to attempt oh, wow, this looks pink. Okay. Well, something different. You can tell how enthusiastic I am, how it looks. Okay, so I'm going to try to set it with, I guess, that magenta. His first starring role was in Zulu. I did not know that. Love Georgie Girl. Yeah, such a great movie. I think he was in Georgie Girl, but he made his bones in spy films. Okay, that makes sense. The reason I asked about Dairy Girls is because Liam Neeson has a fantastic cameo in season 3. Oh, that's interesting. Liked him in Sleuth. We're talking about Michael Caine. Georgie Girl is always a window shopping, but never stopping to buy. Georgie Girl. Bum ba dun 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 dun. No idea the words. Harry Palmer films. With the late Chris Reeves, yeah. God, that's so sad about Chris Reeves. Cold and rainy here. Yeah, Sulu is very British. If anyone is interested, Alan Bradley is releasing a new Flavia Duluth book next year. His first Flavia in 5 years. I'm interested, but I haven't finished out the series because I'm trying to space them out. I really love them, and I know it's one of those series where I could just go through and read the whole thing, but I've been trying to pace myself to. I think I only read one of them this year. I was going to say a couple a year, but I think I only read one this year. Which means it's time for me to read another Flavia Duluth. Maybe I'll do that after this middle grade I'm reading. Oh, by the way, this middle grade, The Many Assassinations of Samir, the Seller of Dreams, is pretty much the character Samir is pretty much Harry Mudd from Star Trek, just a scoundrel merchant or trader, and it's set in the Middle East. But yeah, every time as I'm reading, I just keep thinking of Harry Mudd or Harcourt Fenton Mudd. Oh my God, this side looks so much better than that side. Okay, I forgot to do some black, so let's do that now. It's actually perfect timing because I could do it in a couple places. You regret zooming through the Flavia books. Yeah. But what's nice about spacing them out is it's not like a continuous story arc. I mean, there is the arc about the family being on hard times, that type of thing. But the stories are also self-contained. You really don't need to remember anything. Kind of like the Midsummer Murders, the Mira Lafferty books. Too cold for me, usually unusually warm though. Let's see, it's 56 degrees in Las Vegas right now. This is our cold season. When is it releasing? Down this part of the world, it's been rain, rain, and more rain. Never happens in Vegas. I mean, there is rain, and there is a rainy season, but it's not, I mean, we're a desert. We don't get a lot of rain. Minnesota writer John Sanford is your favorite crime thriller author. Read one or two of his books, don't remember much of them sadly. Enjoy Rainn Wilson's portrayal of Harry Mudd. But John, no one can hold a candle to the original. You're talking about the reboot, right? But Yeah, the original Harry Mudd. No release date yet. The title will be What Time the Sexton Spade Doth Rust, which I am sure, like all the Flavia novels, are based off of some line of poetry or something. Kind of wouldn't mind getting into another cozy mystery. I mean, mostly I read, science fiction, fantasy, horror, but once in a while I like a good mystery. Which, of course, is why I like Flavia. And in middle grade, I really loved the Enola Holmes series. I don't think have I finished. I've read like, I don't know, 6 of them, but I think there's like 1 or 2 more out that I haven't read. And I do think that series would be enjoyable for adults too. I mean, they're not. Still middle grade light reading. Maybe it's considered young adult, but there's no romance. Whenever I see romance now, or young adult, I think of romance. Okay, so I'm going to try to shade. Is this going to work? You know what I should read more of? Because I haven't read them since I was a teenager. But my father collected them, and I did enjoy them. Is the Nero Wolfe mysteries by Rick Stout. He also really liked the Travis McGee novels by John McDonald. Is that right? Travis McGee's the name of the detective, who is a like swinger that lives, not swinger, but ladies' man that lives on a houseboat. But I don't think those novels hold up well. I was seeing some reviewer what's like reading them, but I remember not really particularly liking them. And again, I'd read them just because they were around the house. Okay, so that's basically what I'm going to do. I'll cut this white part with silver and call it a day. I'm seeing early next September for Flavia. Like cozy mysteries with old ladies as the main character. Oh, on Goodreads, there was that title or book in the mystery section that had the title that I thought was really, really cute. But it looked like the sleuth was a little old lady, little old Asian lady. Miss Wong's, oh man, I'm not remembering the title at all, but it was a really cute title. It's like her guide to murderers or something. Or maybe she's a murderer. I don't know. I didn't really read the blurb, but Miss Marple. You know, I haven't really read much. I think I've read one or two Agatha Christie's. Maybe I should read some Agatha Christie's. Just go old school. Christmas Jigsaw Murder. She was 80 years old and was sent jigsaw puzzle pieces a few at a time, showing clues about upcoming murders. Ooh, that's fun. Travis McGee. Oh my gosh, I remember the titles or the covers. The titles were always something with a color in it, like I think one was a tan in Sandy Silence or in the girl in the brown paper bag, stuff like that. But they always showed these skimpily clad women um, in the style of the 70s, I think is when they came out. But yeah, I'm sure they're really sexist. And probably the Nero Wolf books are too, but probably not as much because I don't think Rex Stout was really into that. Read most of John McDonald's stuff, and they were pretty good. Frank did. Was a man of his time, yeah. Advice for Murderers or something. I liked An Elderly Woman is Up to No Good. The old lady was a serial killer. I mean, there's something amusing about little old lady serial killers. That, I mean, going back to arsenic and old lace, it's like something amusing about that. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think I need to. Let me do this side first. I think I need to do some blending. Yeah, I believe John McDonald also wrote some science fiction. Because didn't he write The Girl, The Gold Watch, and Everything? Okay, I'm going to use some of this. Man, these eyes are not even at all. But okay. So now I'm going to try to stamp some silver over this white. Try to hold my eyes down so to let this dry. I just blinked, so I just screwed it up again. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? What am I doing? So anyway, if anyone wants to give me any cozy mystery recommendations. The color titles was his thing. Enjoyed the Elderly Woman series. Yeah, I think I remember hearing about it. They were fun. Would love if there's just more than two. I've got an elderly 90-year-old woman who's up to no good right now. Do you now? Did, but don't think I read it. Yeah, I read it because I knew my father was into John McDonald, and I was like, oh my God, he's writing science fiction. Like Cape Fear by John McDonald. Made into a couple. The Girl, the Gold Watch, or Cape Fear. The Girl and the Gold Watch was made into a movie that was really bad. Robert Mitchum. He's a great actor. Yeah, I like Robert Mitchum. Okay, so now we're doing chroma cake. And I'm just looking for a small brush, which, there we go. Yeah, those were the only two series I can really remember my father really um, being obsessed about. I mean, we also had a lot of James Michener books. We had some short story collections, or he had them. We have a huge book by E. Cummings, which is the poet. And I always thought he was such a fascinating, when I was, a teenager, I thought he was such a fascinating poet because of how he used space to, um, as part of his poems. Oh, I know the other types of books my father liked. Totally blanked out on this one because I really had no, zero, zilch interest in Westerns. And by Westerns, we mean Louis L'Amour. Because I don't know if they have Western sections in bookshops anymore. Probably not. But if they do, a third to half of that section, I bet, will be Louis L'Amour. At least that's how it was back in the day. Okay. Let me brush off this bake while I'm thinking about it. Okay. Oh, wow, I really smudged that. Okay. Cape Fear was made 2 times. De Niro was in the second one, an even greater act. I agree. I really like De Niro. What did my daddy do? He was a satellite technician. Well, back in the day, well, they still have them. Earth stations are those big satellite dishes that point up at satellites to receive information. And he was a technician in one of the stations. And then he sort of advanced in the hierarchy, and he became a manager of a Earth station, and he made it really efficient. So he was promoted to the district. What's above management? He was like an executive in a. It's called AMSAT, American Satellite. First, he worked at ComSat, then AMSAT, and yeah, he was an executive, and we had to move across country. That's why I moved from California to Maryland, is because the headquarters was in around DC, and yeah, he jumped ship from AMSAT to briefly, I think, to Ford Motors, not in the car division, but they were trying to break into the satellite game, I believe, and he was like a vice president for a little bit. But he retired like early, like in his 50s. I've read Iberia by Michener so many times. I read the first 9 books, the cat books, which are cozy mysteries. I remember those. I bought the entire series, about 40 books for my mother, and she finished the last book about 2 weeks before she died. Oh. Glad you finished the series. I thought the first book was the best of that series. Anyone remember Mrs. Polifax? I know I've talked about her before. Was given a Michener book as a gift, but never read it. Just assumed it would be so boring. I've read just a couple of them, but I really recall Hawaii was quite good. And that's the one I would recommend, because that's the one I remember and the one that stuck with me. I will think about cozy mysteries, recommend some next week. Never read Westerns, but some movies were good. Yeah, I'm not even into Western movies. It's just, I don't know, something about it. I've tried several times to read Lonesome Doves. I find I just don't care. I did like the series Thornbirds, but that's like Australian, right? But aren't there cowboys at some point? I don't remember. Always enjoyed pro-Native American movies. The only Westerns I have read and loved were Little Big... Oh, yeah, I love that movie, Little Big Man. I haven't read the book, though. Did read Lonesome Dove. Tried Dove as an audiobook, but hated the narrator. Too bad. Yeah. He started as tech, went to executive. And I remember, I liked Aztec by Gary Jennings. I remember, I don't know if this was this was back in the 70s. I don't know if it was a requirement to be an executive at a company that you had to have a college degree, because my father didn't have a college degree, although he went to college several times, but he always sort of gave up, or he never finished getting a degree. But I remember he felt like he really had to have this college degree if he was going to, become an executive. And I don't know if that was a requirement or just was like insecurity or whatever. Yeah, so he had to like take night school and get a degree later in his life rather than as a young man. Okay, I'm going to Okay, this is kind of interesting look. I'm thinking, I haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to put a white line under the okay. Last Picture Show was a very racy book for its time. The film was controversial too. Yeah, I've only seen the movie. I was a little annoyed that Holly won the Goodreads Horror Award because I see Holly being a thriller rather than a horror book. My nephew doesn't have a degree either, but makes $200,000 a year. In Colorado, he's kind of on another level. Yeah, that's a lot of money. My brother has a law degree and is the most hopeless man I know. Yeah, Stick was fantastic. I have a law degree and I'm hopeless too. Yeah, a friend of mine, oh boy, what did I do? She has both a law degree and a nursing degree. Okay, this white might have been a big mistake. But I need to go back to black. That's my, I mean, I'm ignoring that. That's my phone. I think my husband might have a client. He's a hairdresser that works from home. Can you hear that? He'll be embarrassed if he knows people can hear him. Okay, so I spent a lot of time on the eyes. I think more than I usually do, but it's a different type of look. So hopefully that worked. We're going to jump to finishing this sucker off. I have a brother-in-law who is an accountant and the most evil sod I know. She ran a legal clinic for Spanish-speaking clients. That is really cool. What do you mean, sort of? You're at a clinic for Spanish-speaking clients and you only sort of know Spanish? I think that's cute. Of course, when your nose runs in makeup, it's a whole other thing. Okay. Let's do some lipstick. Aztec isn't available as an ebook or audiobook, not for Australians. All right, no, you hear my husband and his clients talking, and they're not speaking English. If you're wondering, that's a Tagalog. Okay. I will try to talk over them. Okay. Okay. I weighed myself yesterday, and for the first time in about 25 years, your BMI is below 25. Congratulations, Lynette. That is so fantastic. Now, reading the other book by Jennings about the trans guy in the Roman era. Ooh, I didn't not heard of that one. I know. That's so true. So many books, so little time. You pay attention to that BMI stuff. Are you planning to live to be 100? Sometimes you have to pay attention to the BMI when you have certain goals the doctor really thinks you should meet for whatever reason. Okay. Oh, I can't find the lipstick I usually use, but this one is called Ruby Slipper. Oh, this is really dark. Dang it. What was it? Last week I was talking about, I can do these in an hour now. Not this week. Okay. I think this is it. I think we're done. Evie is here, yay! Not trying to live to be 100, just try not to develop diabetes. That is a very good reason. Hey, Evie, thank you for joining us. And he was a hermaphrodite. I'm now curious about that book, John. Everyone is happy to see Evie. I have read Chaos Terminal by Muir Lafferty, and I am currently reading a middle grade book called The Many Assassinations of Samir, the Seller of Dreams, which is very good prose. Not much of a plot, but good writing. The Crystal Empire. A health person said I was pre-diabetic, but when I told a nurse that, she said, "What does that mean?" Could have cursed her, but didn't. Just started D, A Tale of Two Worlds, YA Fantasy. Anti-Jane Evie. Letter D starts disappearing from the world, and the protagonist is the only one that realizes it. Oh, that is kind of interesting. Thank you, Frank. I recommend to start with Emma or Pride and Prejudice if you haven't read any Austen. I agree, yeah. Reading The Red Pony by John Stein. Ooh, that's a classic. I don't think I've read that. I mean, in high school, you have to read Of Mice and Men. The Pearl, was it? Yeah, it's called The Pearl. And the big one, of course, is Grapes of Wrath. Okay, so what did I grab jewelry wise? Okay, I grabbed this thing. And for earrings, I have these. And that's all for this. Oh, I have these hoop earrings. Maybe I'll... God, I'm so indecisive today. What is going on? Oh, I have these on the wrong ear. It's here. I guess it doesn't matter. I can tell it's going to be one of those days. Oh, I hope everyone is having a good day today. Okay, and that's all the lead up to big white wig. This is what I pulled off the shelf. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Oh, let me put on some lip gloss. Let me. Okay, so I think this is now the. No, I didn't have my gloves on. Oh, it's always something. Thank you, John. Great, absolutely, John. Thank you. I tried something a little different with the eyes today. Thank you, Evie. Grapes of Wrath is your favorite. Oh, forgot East of Eden. Yeah, I have not read East of Eden, but I saw the movie and I know it's like it's like racy book. I mean, when on those old books, you always forget that there was sex back then. The wig, yes. Oh, God, Frank is having a good day. That is so good. Thank you, Lynette. Rico is here. Hey, thank you. Snow Queen. Woo. Thank you. White Platinum. So sexy older woman. Are you calling me an older woman? I am. Okay. So thank you so much for being here. This is the final look. I was trying to do the pink with the purple, then do this colored lid that I usually don't do that. And I kind of like it. I may do something similar next week with different colors. So I hope you're here next week to see it. And as usual, may all the books you read be blessed.